All right. Today we are preparing for Personal Rewards CVC. Just going to wait for some people to show up and then we'll get started. There's a lot to do. We got to sort through our objectives, sort through the champions that we want to focus on. It's a lot to do, a lot to do. Clan shop should reset in 5 hours. I expect that there will be energy, hopefully some other good stuff in there. A lot to do, a lot to do on the account. And a lot of waiting to do today. A lot to do tomorrow. Just going to run some quick battles. Make a little progress in the final couple days of the coalition event. Try to get all the rewards possible. Just taking easy battles right now. Welcome, welcome. We're going to get started here in a little bit. Just running a few arena battles for the coalition event. Then we'll start taking a look at objectives and how we're going to make this personal CVC super easy. Forgot that was one of the challenges. Looks like we just got 3.5 more days to complete this. All right. So what I plan to do is I'm making a little spreadsheet for myself so that I don't screw up certain order of things in tomorrow's CVC. Because I have to do certain things in a specific order, or we could have dire consequences that I will explain. Okay. So we need to take a look at personal rewards. What can we possibly get? Now I am tier 6. I always go well over the 400,000 points needed. Even when we lose, I like to keep my points nice and high for the times when we win, and so I can get the best rewards possible. Looks like we can get a few void shards, 4 void shards available, a couple of blue shards, and of course the normal blue books, energy, and we could get some gilded medallions. And then, of course, the clan rewards, normal stuff. We can get another 3 voids out of that. Legendary book, blue book. Okay. Normal stuff. Now let's take a look at the objectives. Now, they do not tell us what the 2x events are going to be. So we cannot prepare for that, but we can always adjust when the time comes. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is take a look at the champion objectives. Normally, part of this is not a huge deal for me. Normally, if you like pulling shards during this time, it's great. But in this particular case, I finally got enough shards for Embrace, and I am going to pull. You are 21 sacreds without a legendary. I mean, I don't know how many you have. I don't know if you plan on going for the fusion. But if you don't have a newt, or if you want a second newt, I would not blame anybody for going for newt when you're that deep on Mercy. 21 is really deep. I wouldn't pull for more than 1 legendary, unless you just have a ton of sacreds and you don't care. I typically don't recommend people pull shards unless they're a Kraken and they don't care. Or I have had clanmates say, like, I don't have time to do all the things to get all the points, so I pull shards. Everybody's account is different. Everybody's decisions are different. If you really need a newt, I wouldn't blame you for going for a newt. Newt's amazing. I wouldn't recommend most people go for newt. But if you're super deep into Mercy, you have 21 sacreds, 3 into Mercy. Man, it's not a 2x event. Newt pops up on 2x events all the time. The question is, do you have other shards available for a fusion? Are you going for the fusion? If you're not going for the fusion, you don't care about the 2x events, you just want newt, you can blow 21 sacreds. You're probably not going to get him. If you pull a legendary, you're going to have like a 5% chance of getting a newt. It's better than normal if like he's the one champion that you want. But if you're not deep into Mercy, you're taking a really big gamble. It's not 2x. Most players should be pulling only on 2x events. Unless you have like most of the champions in the game or something, or it's during a fusion. Typically, I only pull sacreds if it's a 2x event, or if it is if I'm deep on Mercy on a 1+1, which they haven't done forever, or if it's during a fusion. I will usually save my sacreds specifically for fusions because you get a ton of points for them. Whether it's a champ chase, sometimes for champion chase, ancient shards or void shards are great if there's a 2x event, but otherwise I do Sacred Shards for Champion Chase or Summon Rush. Specifically Summon Rush, though. But, I mean, if you're desperate for a newt and you don't have a newt or you want a second newt, it's hard to blame you. But just know that your odds of getting him are not insanely high. It's still only going to be like 5% because there's like 200 some legendary champions in the game, right, that are available from Sacred Shards. I haven't added them up lately, but it's a lot. So even with, I don't know if is it a 10x or a 15x tomorrow? Whatever it is, your odds are not insane. They're just better than normal. Where does it show you where the 2x events are? Because when I go, is it here? Is it on the calendar? No. When I go to it, it doesn't show you. Is it in the news? Yeah, let me know where it shows you because I don't see it. Yeah, I know that it shows for some people. I don't know. Does it show on mobile? Doesn't show it for me, but Nick says Iron Twin, Fire Knight, and gear. What do you mean by gear? Do you mean like upgrading gear? Gear objectives? That's good. I always like to do that kind of stuff anyway. It's a great time to uh, enchant and ascend. It's a great time to use your glyphs. Now, I think they usually limit it to like 20,000 bonus points. So it's not insane, but it's good. Clan on clan view. Is he? Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay, so we got Fire Knight, Iron Twins, and gear objectives. Thank you. Now, when the CVC actually starts, it shows here. That's where I'm always looking. So thank you. I never look down this part of the screen. Hardly ever. So thank you. That makes sense now. So the number one objective that I'm doing this time is because I finally got enough fragments for Embrace. It's going to be insanely easy to get a ton of points right away. And so actually tomorrow night, I think I'm going to live stream building Embrace. If that works out, that is the plan. But if you look at your champion objectives, you get 20,000 points for a mythical champion. But if it's a new mythical champion, 40,000 points. So that's 60,000 points because you add them together. Easy 60,000 points. And then they are already leveled up to rank 6, so you don't get points for that. But then you ascend them. You get insane points for a mythical champion. You get good points for legendary and epics. But 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, you're going to get 8,800 points just for ascending your mythical champion. So if you have Empress waiting, this is an insane time to pull him. Or whenever you're going to get a mythical. If it's Lady Mikage, if it's Empress, any mythical that you're going to get from shards, If it's Carnage, this is an insane time to pull them and build them up. And then skills. Now, Empress, I think, off the top of my head, I think he needs 11 books. Let me double check that right now. If we go to him, he needs 2, 4, 6. 6 books on the first form. And then 8, 10, 11 books total. So go back here and we look at this. You get 4,000 points for every book you put into a mythical champion. That's going to be another 44,000 points. So if we add it up just so far, we get 60,000 from building him, and then 8,800 for ascending him, and then 44,000 just for skilling him up. That's insane. Now, we don't have his soul, obviously. You can't get his soul until you actually get him. And so it's going to be very important because you can get great points for souls. And I believe that there's supposed to be a 2x event for mortal soul stones. Is that correct? That was what I thought I heard this morning. Double check for shards here. So I have been saving my soul stones forever. I do plan on probably just pulling the mortals because I think the event is just for mortals. If it's for immortals, I'll probably pull those too, but I think it's just for mortals. Have double chances of getting epic, legendary, and mythical 6-star or something like that. I don't know exactly what the details are, but there is a bonus event. But I have to pull the champion first. So the first thing that I'm going to do, take a look at objective priorities, is I'm going to summon my mythical champion. So we're going to get Embrace first. Super important, because then we can ascend our mythical champion, and then we can book mythical champion and Legos. So I am personally going to not be using my epic books, except for I think one champion I want to book up, but I'm trying to save up my blue books because I don't think I'm going to need them this time around, and it's just handy to have those. But you get 4,000 points for a mythical book, 3,000 for a legendary, which is actually really great, and then 1,000 for a blue book, 500 for light blue rare book. I don't really build rare champions anymore. I just throw them on whatever champion if I'm that desperate for a point or for some points. But what I need to do is I need to figure out which champions I'm going to throw my legendary books on, and I need to pull them out and make sure what kind of books they need. Now, I already have a pretty good idea of who I want to book. I believe she's already booked. Number one is I pulled a second Duchess somewhat recently, and I need to book her. I've been using her in Hydra for a few weeks already without skills. She's been fine because she's not unlike my Nightmare team. She's on my Brutal team or whatever. But she needs skills, so she's going to need at most 8. I'll probably just fully book her, but at most she would need 8, which is great. That means we still have plenty of other books to use. Now I am saving all of my energy It's not a lot, but we got some energy here. I will probably just use those. Personally, I like to run either Spider to get some silver or Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun. I'll just run those. They get really good points. Not a big deal, but you get all the points you can get, right? So what other champions do I want to book? Well, I think everybody that I have out, I only keep usually I just keep out my live arena champions out and I put everything else in a vault. So I need to search for champions that I want to book. And I've got to remember what those are. Number one is Tholen. I've got him fully built except for the books. Let's see how many books Tholen needs. So we need to check here. What champions do I want to book? First, Empress, obviously. Duchess, Tholen. What else are we going to look for? I know that there's somebody else I really wanted to book. I don't have to use all of my books, but if there's anybody that I really want to book, then I definitely want to remember to do that. Let's just see if there's anybody that stands out. Calvilax. Does anybody know if Calvilax really needs to be booked? I do have Arachnelixir on him. He's not booked, and I don't know. I mean, you get extra damage out of it, but you don't need it to hit your A3 or A2. So let me know if you think that I need to book Calvilax. He would need up to 12 books. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he needs those books or not. I need to research that. And then I need to make sure his masteries are. I need to look into how the Calvilax special works. They didn't nerf that, did they? I know he's been. I've been using him in some like faction war stuff, and he's been working really well in there. I haven't really tried like the arena stuff that he was going insane. I haven't heard anything about a nerf, so I assume that it's still working. If he was nerfed, I missed it. What's the new relic from Faction Wars? I don't always remember all the relics. There's too many relics to remember now. So what's available from Faction Wars? Is there a way to search for relics that you don't have? Or do you just have to know it somewhere? Can I craft anything right now? Let's see what we get. We got a 0.01% chance of a mythical. Mask of Rage, that wasn't it. Arachnid something? What did I have? Yeah, I have the Arachnelixir. That's what I was talking about. I thought that's the right one, isn't it? Wears poison debuff, steal bonus damage equal to 50% of the wearer's attack. I don't know how high up it needs to be upgraded to. I just have him at 9 right now. I think. No, I don't even have it at 9. I need to upgrade this. I didn't realize I hadn't upgraded it. This is the right one, right? Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to do this later so I don't screw up what I'm upgrading with. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if he needs books or not. You didn't book yours? Yeah, I need to do some more search or more research because I only got the Arachno Elixir like in the last couple weeks, so I didn't bother trying to build like the arena stuff on him until recently. But I need to research that. I assume that it still works. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna book him or not, and I don't remember if there's anybody else that I really wanted to book. Um, oh, he needs a relic. Let's see. What am I looking for? Books. Uh, just scrolling through my champions to see who needs books. Make sure I haven't missed out on anybody important that I really want booked. What do I need for what, Tony? Let's see. I assume he's booked. I mean, I should probably save some books for the next fusion. I do plan on doing the fusion. I don't know how good he's going to be, but anytime there's a void champion available in a fusion, I'm just going to do it because sometimes we're wrong about if they're good or not. And if they're good and I didn't know it, I would hate to skip it because you're probably just not going to get it again unless you're a big spender. Odds are pretty low. I mean, I've been playing the game for 4 years and I've summoned a whole 8 void legendaries. I'm not seeing anybody that stands out. Okay, so I will probably hold on to whatever legendary books I get besides those 3. And then if I'm desperate for points, I can always use a bunch of epic books or whatever. Oh, I was talking about Calvalax. I just recently got the Arachno Elixir that's supposed to make him insane. And I don't know anything about how the composition works. If they've nerfed it, I haven't heard about a nerf, but he's supposed to be insane. As far as I know, that's still working. If anybody knows that has been nerfed, let me know. But I don't know if he needs to be booked. So if you know anything more about Cavalax, how it works, if it's still working, let me know. I always thought he was such a cool looking champion. And I always wanted to get 2 so that I could do like the wave clearing stuff. Because I've got a couple of Kaimars. I've got what's that? Whatever that champion is, that Alanarel, is that it? That destroys those poisons. Where is she? I've got 3 of her. She's gotta be somewhere. I have that name right? Ella. Am I spelling that wrong? This chick. Alanarel. I was spelling it wrong. I've got 3 of her. Not nerfed now. It has to be at least 4-star. Don't need books. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to test it out, see if I can get it to work in arena. I already know that like he's been kind of crazy for me in like faction war, Curse City kind of stuff. I've messed around just a little bit, but yeah. Does his relic need to be a certain level? I've got it to level 6. I'll figure out how to get it to at least 9. I'm just starting to run out of, so I need to sort through all that. Get rid of some rares that are maybe not necessarily the best rares, turn them into food. So here we have our priorities so far. So we got to get Empress. We need to ascend him and we need to book him. And that's going to get us over 100,000 points just there. That's 100,000 points I don't normally have. And then I might book Calvolax anyway. Maybe. Doesn't hurt, right? I'll think about that. It's a possibility. So you throw that in, and that's going to be close to another 100,000 points just from that. That would already get us to about 200K, right? Just from those two things. Not exactly, maybe 190K, but it's going to be close to 200,000. That's going to get us halfway to the 400K. Now, I'm probably going to end up with like 450, 500K. That's kind of what I normally do. But I'm just giving ideas for those who are maybe newer to CVC or they haven't really put in the work to figure out how to get lots of points, because some people just don't. But that's how this is how I always get points. Is number one is just saving my books. Saving your books for personal CVC. So I only use my books once every 4 weeks just for this. I'm very rarely ever desperate to the point that I need to use books for anything else. Now there is one epic champion that I want to book. And it's simply because I pulled a 5-star for her and there's only like 2 revivers in all of Shadowkin, right? So another 8 books. That's only like 8,000 points. I'll add her to the list so I don't forget, but that's not a big deal. What was her name? Kinagashi. Yeah, the real meta is just who has all the mythicals and who doesn't. I don't have all the mythicals. I'll show you my amazing list of mythicals. I have Lady Mikage. I have Carnage. And tomorrow, I will have Empress. So yes, the Kraken's up top, or anybody who has Nell. That is the meta. But for the rest of us, it's just, do you have mythicals? If so, you're probably using them. Like, I'm going to guess 80, 90% of the mythicals, if you have one, you're using them. I don't have one. Someday I will pull a mythical. It has to happen. It has yet to happen. But someday it's got to happen, right? Dolan's doing Hard Faction 21 without books. That's crazy. Is he doing all of the levels though? Like, I have used him. I do have 31 stars for Dwarf Crypt, which is pretty good. Some of these factions, I do not have the champs, man. Like, and even if I do have the champs, I'm not putting all my best gear every single day on a faction stuff. I'm just kind of doing faction wars hard, casually. because I just know that I don't have enough to get through everything. So I get through what I can. And some days I will try a little bit harder to get some extra stars. Some days I don't care that much. It's hard, man. Yeah. Live Arena is a pain because I don't have a single mythical from primals. I mean, I got clanmates that are not level 100 and they got multiple mythicals from primals. I see brand new players. I see players at level 53 in Classic Arena with some insane mythicals, and it changes everything for them. It's kind of annoying. I can't believe how difficult they have made them. Like it's always been hard for me to get good void champions or pull any void Legos, but mythicals, they're crazy. It's just so hard to get them. It's so hard to find primal shards without purchasing them. Okay, I don't know why it froze here. Sometimes my game just likes to freeze. So, back to the list. So, champion objectives is the most important thing happening this CVC, at least for me. But in general, this is where I'm going to get a ton of points. I don't usually get, mythical champions. I don't usually even get legendary champions during CVC, unless it's somebody that I'm desperate to pull from, like a fusion or something from fragments. But I do always save my skill books for this time. If you still have your bonus haul to take care of, you should absolutely take advantage of that. I finished that up a couple years ago, so I am unable to get any points from leveling up the affinity bonus, but this is a great way to get free points just from doing your arena throughout the month. But then mythical souls would be insane. If you have been saving your mortals and somehow you pull a 5 or 6 star mythicals from those, which is possible, especially when there's like a bonus event like tomorrow, that could be insane. Imagine you just pull a couple of 6 star mythicals. Insane points. But I just need to remember to do that after I pull my Empress. So we're going to summon. I think it's just the mortals, right? Mortal soul stones. After pulling Empress. I've got to remember that, or I can't get a soul for him. So I think it's just the mortals that we get the bonus event for tomorrow. You're doing 101 levels on Centranos. Man, I do not put enough effort into Centranos. It's the same thing. I mean, tell me the difference between hard faction wars and Soul Cross. It's the same kind of annoying thing. And I don't have it in me to constantly be rebuilding champions. I like to put my best gear on my best champions and focus on that. If I happen to have the right champions for this, but I'm not going to put like insane gear on these champions to pass this stage. And I'm not going to 6-star random epics for these random stages just for a few bonus rewards. Hey, Chris, welcome in. We are just taking a look at CVC, and how I plan on getting really easy rewards. I am going to be pulling Empress tomorrow, and then I'm going to be ascending Empress, booking a few legendary champions and an epic champion. That's going to get me an easy couple 100,000 points. And then we've got a bonus for pulling Mortal Soul Stones tomorrow. That can get a ton of points. Now, how many? It's going to depend on luck. Obviously, this is the biggest RNG that's going to happen for me tomorrow. But I've been saving for over 2 months. Got 215 Mortal Soul Stones. Hopefully I get lucky. Hopefully I hit the wish list. I've got 2 Duchesses that need good souls. I've got 2 Caldors that I would like to use, but they don't have souls. I think one has a 1 star. One Duchess has a 1 star. And then I have never pulled like a great soul for Newt. He's only 3 star, and I think I bought that. The epics, the rares, I don't super care about those. If I get them, I get them. But that's going to be heavily RNG'd. So you can't really count on that so much. But it'll be a great way this time around, certainly, to get points. Yeah, like I was saying just a few minutes ago, I don't know how good the fusion's going to be, but I do know that it's a void legendary, and you don't want to screw that up. Now, we have had not very many, but some void legendaries for fusions since I started playing 4 years ago. The first one I missed out on was one of the Halloween guys. They got the 2 brothers, the vampires or whatever. I missed that fusion because I had just started playing the game a few months before, and I didn't know how to save or anything. Let's see. So we had, let's see, Supreme Elhain, who was actually my arena nuker for like a year because she's good. She's still useful in a lot of stuff. And then we had, I think Tormund was a fusion at one point. I pulled him from a shard, and then we also had there was like a Titan event or something for him. And then what else? We had Sir Nick was similar. He was some sort of Titan event. I believe that Noelle, she was a fusion, wasn't she? And then Emic. Now, a lot of people didn't think Emic was good, but he's actually a very useful champion. And then Khan was from Deck of Fate. So there's not a ton of opportunity to get legendary void champions from a fusion. So I would never skip something like that. Even if you think he's garbage right now, what if he's buffed? What if there's some random thing where suddenly he's amazing? You're probably not going to summon him. You could, but the odds are not very high, right? So I wouldn't dare skip the fusion. I don't think anybody should, unless they just don't have any resources left. Because this Demon Slayer Titan event with the Coalition event, that was really draining. The Titan event I did finish, but man, my shard count is hurting. I have enough for a fusion, but that's about it. If I'm desperate, I have been saving mystery shards. You can get a couple thousand points for like a summon rush or whatever. But I'd rather not have to do that. But my shard count is hurting pretty bad. But I did get Tholen built 5-star. I probably should have saved the 5-star for tomorrow, but I just didn't care. I just picked it up anyway. And so I've got I'm gonna book him tomorrow, and then on Wednesday I'll see how he does in Hydra, fully booked with the 5-star. He was good before. I expect a pretty good bump now that he will have, the extra crit damage and stuff. Yeah, I'm not finishing the coalition event, not quite. I I focused my efforts on getting the 5-star for Tholen because that was more of a sure thing. I got most of the rewards though. I should be able to pick up this book tomorrow after I book Tholen. I'm not getting the last few rewards. I'm not getting the Twisted Horns, unfortunately, but I didn't get anything good out of the legendary pull. I got an epic out of that. So it's unfortunate. I don't know what the odds are of getting like a legendary or mythical if you have 100 mythical fragments or whatever. What are these called? Are these called fragments, shards, materials? They're just called materials. Yeah, I know I need to focus more on Centranos. I know. I just don't like it. It's not, at the end of the day, it's a game and this is not the most fun part for me. I just don't love building random champions for this. And I'm not like a big spender. I haven't spent in a long time. So I'm not just getting all the champs, all the gear. It's mostly the time suck and just a lack of desire, but maybe I will take your advice and be a better player in the future. Let's see. So back to the list. 20% chance for a mythical is pretty good. Maybe I should have put more effort. So we've got the soul stones. What's next? What's next on the list? So is there anything left? Okay, nothing left. That's super important from champion objectives. Campaign, I would never focus on for CVC. The points are way too low for the energy that you spend. Unless there was like champ training or something, which is very rare that there would be a champ training during a personal CVC. I would not put effort into that. Potion keep, I never, hardly ever run potion keeps. Other than very recently, I had to run some for the whites. Is this white or silver? Whatever this is, the arcane. But you get so many of these from Curse City and like Doom Tower and stuff. I haven't had to run any of these in probably 2 years. But I did very recently have to run the arcane keep because those are harder to keep up with. Back here. So Minotaur is not the greatest way to get points, but tomorrow I will be running it simply because I want to get Empress built up as quick as possible because I'd like to build him on stream tomorrow night if I can. Unfortunately, I don't, unless they do the update tonight. We don't have the 2x on the Minotaur as far as I know. I haven't run it in a couple weeks. So we don't have the 2x on that yet. Maybe there will be an update in the middle of the night. They have done that during CVC in the past. I don't think that's the greatest idea, but they do that sometimes. Yeah, I do need to focus more on Live Arena. I sometimes like Live Arena. I took this month off because I was out of the state for like a week. So I just decided to take it a little bit easy, and I plan on going harder for the next one. That is something that I do plan on doing, is spending more time in Live Arena next go around, next season. And then we've got just the typical dungeons. I wouldn't do dragon unless there was like a 2 or 3x for speed. I don't know why the points are worse for this. It shouldn't be. It should be the same as Ice Golem and Fire Knight and Spider, but it's not. It sounds like there's going to be a 2x event for Fire Knight, so that would be a good thing for a lot of people to do. Personally, I just like to farm Spider because everybody needs silver, right? So I will always do either Spider, or I will do Sand Devil or Phantom Shogun's Grove. Personally, I need all the Chaos Dust I can get. All the Chaos Dust I can get. So I'm going to be doing Sand Devil, personally. Maybe a little bit of Shogun. I need dust for both. I have like no dust for anything. So that's going to be important to me. They both get really good stats, or really good points. If you have a fast Fire Knight team, Fire Knight stage 10 team, tomorrow's a great time to run it. If you have the time, if you have a fast team. But that's not my favorite. And I think for most players, getting to stage 10 of hard is going to be a lot harder than like getting to stage 10 of Spider or something, right? So for most players, I think Spider is going to be easier. You're going to get a good amount of points. You're going to get the silver that you need, the accessories that you need if you're still a progressing account. Yeah, the one thing that I would like for Live Arena is for them to open up the times that you can do it. The timing of the fights are just the worst times for me. Like, I always try to get like one fight in right away so I don't forget, because I always do my quests. But besides that, there's always so much to do in the game. One of the times for fighting is when I'm going to bed. One of the times for fighting is before I wake up in the morning. And so I have lunchtime if I have time during lunch, or when the game resets at 5 o'clock my time for the quests. There's just not enough time for Live Arena. They just need to open it up for 24 hours. I don't know why they don't do it. I think that there's enough players. I could be wrong. So here we go. Event dungeon objectives. That's fine to do too. I might do some of that as well. We should be getting energy in the shop tonight, the clan shop. They've made that a regular thing. I don't think they ever announced it, but it used to be random. It used to be like you just never you never knew when you showed up on a Tuesday what was going to be in the clan shop, but they made it regular. So like every other week, every time it's CVC, there's going to be energy in the clan shop. Yeah, I don't know why they're making it. Well, that's just what Raid does. They always make things difficult, right? They make getting mythical champions difficult. They make getting void legendaries difficult. They make getting good souls difficult. They make getting good relics difficult. I mean, how long have relics been out? I want to say 7, 8, 9 months, something like that. And I've got I think 6 or 7 legendary relics, and I think that's with pretty good luck. There's gonna, the big time players, they got a ton more, of course, but for somebody who hasn't spent any money since they've come out, I think getting like 6 legendaries is pretty good luck. That's just what they do, man. They make things difficult for us. Spend money, and everything becomes easier. Okay, and then just like normal stuff, I tend to try to save my faction wars stuff. It's a little bit more annoying now that hard mode is out. So I did like half my runs today just because I wanted to make sure I got a quest done. Unfortunately, Faction Crypt used to be something that just took like 3 minutes out of my day. Now you've got to manual a lot of stuff. So that's more frustrating. Arena objectives. Classic Arena is kind of close to worthless. Tag Team Arena is where it's at. You get 5 points for every gold bar. That's not every win, that's every gold bar. So do as many Tag Team Arenas as you can. I try not to spend gems to do CVC, personal CVC even, but I will for Tag Team Arena because you get really good points, and I just like getting those easy battles. Everybody put in, your one-man defenses, get some really easy battles for some really cheap gems. Unfortunately, I ran mine today because I'm trying to get a good placement in the Tag Team Arena tournament, but that's okay. I will run more tomorrow at reset. That's no big deal. And then Live Arena is okay. You get 5 for every crest. You get like 5 crests or something for a win, right? So if you play Live Arena, you'll get some decent, not amazing, not insane points, but you get some points. Then I always, every day, try to do all 4 of my Demon Lord battles. So it's really easy to get these chests. You get some really good points for that, for the cost of nothing. And then gear. This is the time when it's not when I upgrade gear, it's when I glyph and ascend gear. So I upgrade artifacts and accessories during just whenever there's an event for that, right? So whenever there is a artifact upgrading event, I do that then. But we have glyphs and ascensions, and you get insane points. If you use a 6-star glyph, not if it hits well, if you just use your 6-star glyphs, and this is why you need lots of silver, you get 1,000 points. So if like you say if you have like 36-star glyphs that you want to use, it's going to cost you a lot of silver, but you're going to get 30,000 points just from those glyphs. So if you use, really you want to use the bigger ones, 5, 6-star glyphs, you get insane points. That's a legendary glyph, excuse me. Now, unfortunately, there's not a 2x event for this, but when there is, that's an even better time. And then ascensions. If you level something up to a 5 or 6-star ascension, you just get insane points. You get all these points. So the next thing that I do is gear, enchanting, and ascension. Yeah, I think I have 4 wands and then a couple of other random ones. If we look at, let's see, my relic collection. So I've got 4 wands that I use on my Live Arena champions. And then I've got Cat's Gaze that I use on my Marius, which is insane. And okay, so it looks like I've got seven legendary ones. Temporal Stagnator is really good for Fabian. And then I haven't even put this on anybody yet. I don't know where I want to use the Gilded Pinion. I think this is the one from the did we get it from the Titan event? I think it might have been the Coalition event, but I think it was the Demon Slayer Titan event that we got that. Okay, so we're almost done through our objectives. The last big thing is the Forge. I save all of my gear forging for CVC. And that's kind of the theme of these things is I always save them. I always save these same things for CVC. I save all my books for personal CVC, and I save all of my enchanting as much as possible, my ascension as much as possible, and my gear forging for personal CVC. So if you look at my forge, I'm going to have about 200 chances of getting some decent perception gear. And I've saved all of my rank, rarity, and mythical charms. And I'm just going to quick craft that. I'm not hitting that button today, but I'm going to quick craft all of my charms. And I focus on the good sets first. Unfortunately, this is not a Dark Fae month. I would always do lethal first. I always use my best charms for lethal. But after that, it's going to be perception. And then fatal is okay. I don't tend to get great fatal gear, but it's good. And I don't care much about anything else. Unless there's like right now there's a Forge Pass, but unfortunately they always do this. We're not going to finish this up until after CVC, like a couple days after CVC. So I'm just going to have to hold it till next month. And so most of my forging is going to go toward perception, fatal, lethal, or a Forge Pass. After that, if I still have a decent amount of Magisteel, then I will just pull all this resilience gear and just sell all of it. It's all going toward getting silver. Because even though it costs silver, you're going to get way more back from forging it and selling it. And none of the other sets from like Doom Tower really, I don't keep it pretty much. Some people might like some other things, like Affinity Breaker is okay, but I'm never going to farm the Nether Spider or whatever. Untouchable is kind of outdated. Frostbite, somebody might use that, but probably not very many people. Guardian is okay, but that's more of a progression set. I haven't really used Guardian much the last couple years. I used to use it a little bit in Hydra for keeping some champions alive or whatever. I don't care much about Fortitude. Instinct is a Forge Pass. Bolster is a Forge Pass. Defiance a Forge Pass. Slayer, Righteous, all Forge Pass stuff. So if you bought the Forge Pass, that's great. But it's not that big of a deal if you didn't buy it. But always save for lethal and then perception. Everything else is just a bonus. So that, if you put all that stuff together, and I'll read off the list. If you summon champions during CVC, you're going to get great points. I don't particularly recommend that most players that aren't spenders. If you're going for the fusion, you should probably be saving your shards. Generally, I happen to be pulling Empress, not from a shard. And then if you can ascend, if you have like legendary, mythical, or even epic champions that need to be ascended, it's a great time. Always save your books for personal CVC every month. Unless you are absolutely desperate to be building a specific champion, I would save your books for personal CVC. That's what I always do. Even like a really good champion like Duchess or Tholen, you know, that maybe I had a couple weeks ago, I was still saving those books for personal CVC. Like, unless I was absolutely desperate. Then tomorrow, there should be a bonus for Mortal Soul Stones. I don't normally pull Soul Stones during CVC. I usually save them for either a 2x event or like a Deck of Fate. There happens to be a bonus tomorrow from what I understand. Just from videos that I watched today. That's my understanding. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what I've heard. So I'll be pulling all of my mortals and hoping that we get a soul for Empress so that he'll be even better. But you just never know when you're going to get a soul for a mythical champion. Obviously, getting a better soul for Carnage or, you know, whatever mythicals you have would be nice, but there's no wish list for mythicals or anything. And then I don't normally recommend Minotaur unless you really, really want to build a specific champion. And I want to build Empress on stream tomorrow night. So hopefully that works out for me. And then it's always good to run dungeons. You can do the event dungeon. You can do Spider. You can do Fire Knight. You can do Sand Devil. You can do Shogun. I wouldn't recommend Ice Golem or Dragon. And then you enchant your gear. You can ascend your gear. And then you forge new gear. That is my list. Those are the best ways to get points. I do this every month, month after month. I've been doing this for years now. I have videos from, probably 2 years ago saying the same thing. If you haven't filled out your Great Hall, easy free points. Easy free points from Clan Boss. Easy free points from doing your faction wars, doing tag team arena specifically. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Let me know if I missed anything that you really like doing to get points. As somebody said, they're thinking about pulling Sacred Shards for Newt. Understandable. I don't typically recommend pulling during non-2x, non-fusion, unless you're a whale or a kraken. But you do what you got to do. It's a game. Have fun. It's a gambling game. Gamble. We all take gambles in this game sometimes. If you're desperate for a first or second Newt, I don't blame you. I'm not going to do it because I need all the shards I can get for the fusion. Okay, let me check. Make sure I haven't missed any messages. Okay. So normally, like I said, I try to save my tag team fights for the CVC, but I am trying to place decently in the tag team arena tournament right now. So I'll be able to get some extra battles from gems pretty cheap. I'm trying to get my gem count up a little bit. All right, so I'm going to take like a 2-minute break. If you have any questions, if anybody's interested in doing like a takeover or something, let me know. Or if you have any other ideas that you would like to add to the CVC and how you like to get points, let me know and I'll be right back. Okay. I need to work on transition scenes so you know when I'm gonna be back in a couple minutes. My 10-year-old son learned how to do the transition scenes this weekend. He showed me. Typical. Kids know all the technology. I'm gonna have to figure that out so that you don't just see my chair while I'm gone. The streaming thing is still kind of new to me. Been making videos for a couple years, but trying to get better at the streaming thing. So we're all ready for CVC tomorrow, right? So we're going to be building Embrys. Let me know if you have him. I'll be summoning him as soon as CVC starts. Well, as soon as I wake up tomorrow. CVC starts in the middle of the night for me at like 2 or 3 a.m. Depending, they always change the time for some reason. Got to build him. What is the best way to build him? I have not watched probably any videos featuring an Embrys build. So I don't really know. Is he better built for damage? Better built for accuracy? Is he kind of like Carnage where you need a little bit of both? I do face him quite a bit the last month or so in Live Arena. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to build him. All I can tell you is it's probably going to include Stone Skin because I almost always put Stone Skin on anybody that I'm going to use in Live Arena. Almost everybody, with a couple of exceptions. I wouldn't put Stone Skin on Arbiter. I don't put Stone Skin on Lammasu. And I don't put it on Nishak because they all need to just go first or I'm probably going to lose anyway. What's up, Scrubbalicious in the chat? Starting to get some regulars around here. It's good to recognize some names. just been streaming for a couple weeks now. It's good to see a lot of the same names coming back. We just discussed everything that I do for the personal CVC. I made a list. Tomorrow I'm going to be summoning Embrus, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to build him. Caleb, I did see your message about our clanmate. I'd be happy to do a takeover for anybody if he needs help. You got Carnage to 300 speed. My Carnage is so slow, man. Like, I'm struggling to get him where I'd like him to be. He's so slow. But the way I have the team built, like, it's usually okay. Usually. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to be summoning Embrus. I'm going to be ascending him. I'm going to be booking him. And then hopefully tomorrow night on stream, assuming that I can stream tomorrow night, I'm probably going to be building him on stream. So if anybody has Embrus, let me know how you built him. I don't know if he is better for, if I need to build him up with just a ton of accuracy, or if he's better for damage. He can strip stone skin without needing accuracy. Why don't we look at his kit? That would make sense. Like I said, I just haven't investigated him enough. Honestly, like, if I don't have a champion, there's so many champions in the game. If I don't have a champion, most of the time I don't care unless I'm running into them a lot in arena. And I just recently started running into more and more Embruses in arena. But I just don't care that much about champions that I don't have. So if I don't have them and suddenly I have them, I have to do a lot of research usually. Stone skin and lethal, no accuracy. Faction war is hard. My Knights Rev is probably one of my top factions. Fortunately, I've got some decent champions because I got Calvalax, I got Tio. Not enough people talk about how good Mad Hatter is. Well, he's not that great. But I got Ancora, I've got Narcisse. I've got a pretty good array of support and damage. So he'll just add to that. Let's see. So Stone Skin, you don't necessarily need accuracy for arena, I assume that you mean. Fairly fast. Okay, let's take a look at his kit. So he's got a support kit and an HP kit. I assume that's more damage there. We'll take a look here. So first of all, the passive. Whenever an enemy is killed, places one necrosis stack on all other enemies. Stacks cannot be resisted or blocked. Stacks can only be removed by reviving dead allies. This effect does not work against bosses and their minions. If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, this effect will only activate once at the start and end of this champion's turn. Instantly activates any necrosis stacks. Let's see, so I don't fully understand necrosis, to be honest. So necrosis, when an enemy champion dies, necrosis is placed. Each necrosis stack deals damage equal to 5%. Okay. Okay, I get it. Just adds extra damage. I try to avoid it as much as possible in Chimera. So I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it. Okay, so let's see. Is A1 attacks all enemies, destroys each target max HP, and increases the duration of a random debuff on all enemies. Okay. Places a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn, and a decreased attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Cannot be resisted if enemies have any necrosis stacks, then grants an extra turn. Okay. And then, of course, the A3 attacks all enemies and removes any stone skin buffs and replaces them with True Fear. So I imagine it would help if he went kind of fast, right? That explains your 297 speed. So we want to build him fast damage and some stone skin. Understandable. Now, what kind of gear am I going to have available to me? I don't know. Now, I assume that because his second form is HP based, that you probably want to build him with a lot of HP. That might be difficult for Knights Rev because obviously I've got Narcies in the same faction. I also have White Queen in the same faction. I try to keep them both pretty tanky, pretty HP heavy. I guess we're going to find out tomorrow night what I can do. Let's see. So we've got a block revive on the A1 on his second form. Places an extra hit if the target has a necrosis stack. Okay. And damage based on HP and accuracy. It's one of those, huh? Now, I assume that that is more based on HP than the accuracy. I wonder how those kind of balance out. Those are always kind of hard to figure out. But I assume that the HP is probably the more important one. And okay, the A2 attacks all enemies, deals double damage to enemies whose accuracy is lower than this champion. Okay. So he's probably wouldn't hurt to have some accuracy on him, right? And let's see, swaps HP with an enemy. Increases this champion's ignored defense. Okay. Okay. And his passive here. When this champion dies, reflects damage equal to 50% of the fatal hit back to the attacker. That's kind of crazy. Includes any surplus damage. Whenever an enemy is killed, places one necrosis. Okay, if there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will activate, of course. If this champion is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death buff on them for one turn before the damage is taken. And that's why I always try to get like a Carnage going up against him if I possibly can. Try to take away some of those skills. So what are we going to have available for him is going to be the big question. Because White King is one of my top arena damage dealers. And naturally, I've got him built with a lot of HP. He's already stealing an HP Stone Skin ring. He's got the crit damage Stone Skin amulet. Protection there. Just a random piece. So what are we going to have available left for my Empress tomorrow night? Let's see if we have anything. Do we have any more HP rings in Stone Skin? We've got one. Unfortunately, it's got a double attack roll. Not the best, but what can you do? All right. How about HP or accuracy, priority stat, speed? Do we have... We got one piece and it's not that good. So we might look for an offset piece for that. We've got not the best options. What about equipped? We could steal this from Theodore because he's probably going to be a lot more important to me than Theodore. Be a little bit faster. We got some pinpoint. We might We might have to roll up some pinpoint gear. Supersonic. We'll probably have to roll up some gear, unfortunately. Feral. We've got some feral options. So we'll have to figure that out. And how about crit damage? Do we have any more crit damage? Stone skin pieces? We do. Okay. This will probably be a pretty good piece. It'd be nice if I hit some accuracy. That could be a backup piece if I hit a bunch of accuracy, but we'll probably just put that on him. So we'll get a couple of stone skin pieces from the accessories, and then we'll have to figure out what's still available. I might have to steal some pieces. We spent the last few days rebuilding our nukers over the free gear removal, but we might have to steal some gear from some of those nukers anyway. Let's see. We'll look for crit damage, stone skin. That's a decent piece. Even though it hit attack, it also hit accuracy and flat HP. That's not bad. No speed on it. I would get speed on this one. And I could get speed on that one. That's pretty good. But I would need to dust these two. So we'd probably start off with this one. And then if I get some dust, I can try some of that in the future. Of course, we have lethal options as well. But none of these probably have a lot of speed on them. Well, that one does. You know what? That's a pretty decent piece, but there's no crit rate on it. That's a pretty good piece. We got the extra HP percentage. We got crit rate, some HP. So we've got some options there. Now, how about the HP percent chest piece? We got some lethal pieces here. We got crit rate and speed. We got crit damage, speed. We'd have to roll that up. And this one's pretty good. We got accuracy, we got crit rate, we got bonus HP. That's probably a pretty good piece. So we got something to work with there. See if we got anything with speed here. Decent piece here. I'll save most of my ascensions for tomorrow, but let's just see. That's unfortunate. And nothing great there. So probably go with one of those lethal pieces. And then the top pieces are pretty easy to fill in most of the time. So we can go with HP percentage or speed. We'll probably want to go speed because we probably want to go fast. And so we got a lot of speed boots, crit damage, accuracy, HP percentage. That's a possibility. I do fear that we're going to be going too slow. I need so much dust, man. That's pretty good. Speed with speed, double accuracy hit, some flat HP and HP percentage. This is pretty good. That one might be it. That one might be the lethal piece. So I think we got a good start looking for Empress. So what we want to do, we'll build them tomorrow night during CVC. I will try to run as much Minotaur before the stream this time, because we learned our lesson a couple of weeks ago that trying to run Minotaur during a stream takes a very, very long time because we still don't have the 2x, but hopefully it comes soon. Maybe it'll come tomorrow. I don't know. So what are your guys' plans for CVC tomorrow? How do you get your big points? I will review one more time. Don't forget, the month rolled over, so you can get some ancient shards from the market in case you need ancient shards for tomorrow. I already got my first one. It's not a lot, but you can get those 5 ancient shards from the market. All right, so we'll take a look at my list one more time. If you're looking for ways to get points for personal CVC, you can always summon champions. You get great points for getting mythicals or legendaries, like insane points. A lot of people will be summoning for Newt tomorrow. I don't recommend it, but I don't blame you if you want to do it. Then you can ascend the champion, book the champion. You should always be saving your books for personal CVC. There's a good Soulstone event tomorrow. If you've been saving your mortals, great time to pull them. I will be running Minotaur tomorrow. Not the best thing to do for CVC, but I got to do it. I will be running Sand Devil and Shogun. You might want to do Fire Knight or Spider. And then Gear Enchanting, Gear Ascension, and Gear Forging. Those are the ways that you get all the CVC points. It's incredibly easy for me to get 400,000 points every personal CVC. Regular CVC, just play the game regular, in my opinion. If you're in a clan that's telling you to push really hard for regular CVC, they need to rethink it. Only personal CVC matters. Just do your very basic stuff for a regular CVC. That's always been my opinion. All right, so from my understanding, there's going to be a two-time chance, I think, of getting epic, legendary, and mythical souls from mortal soul stones. If anybody has more details on that, let me know in the chat. I watched a couple of videos this morning that mentioned it. I haven't seen like an official thing from Raid on it, but that's usually the way it goes. Is the top content creators get all the info early and they spread the news. I think that's it, right? If somebody has the exact details on that, can you write it in chat? But that's my understanding. You don't get 2 times points, but it's a great time to pull because you're going to get those. You're going to get good soul stones. So if you want to save it for like a deck of fate or whatever, I would rather save Immortals for a deck of fate. Eternals, if I had them. I pulled 3 Eternals for the last deck of fate. I will be saving these for a better deck of fate. Yeah, I think it's just the Mortals tomorrow. If I'm wrong, if somebody can let me know, but I think it's just the Mortals tomorrow. I personally would save Immortals and Eternals for a deck of fate because sometimes they have champions from those deck of fates. It's how I got Khan. I think it's how Freya and maybe Knave of Hearts were available through that. I think. I don't remember the details. It's been a while. I didn't go for those, but I did go for Khan. It was a super easy way of getting a Void Legendary champion who isn't that great. Maybe if I build him better, he'll be better. But from the little that I tested with him, he did not seem insane to me personally. Didn't really hit that hard. Maybe I didn't build him that well. So that is what I plan to do. But I've got to pull Empress first because my understanding is that you cannot get a soul for Empress or Carnage or basically like Lamasu, any champion that you're going to get from certain sections of the game. Not from a fusion, but from like anything like the Cursed City champion or Faction Wars champion, anything like that. Marius, you can't get their soul until you get those champions, those specific kinds of champions. So I got to pull Empress first so that hopefully I get at least a 1-star for him, right? I mean, the odds are not insanely high. There's no wish list for mythicals, but I want to at least hope for a chance there, right? So that's it. That is my plan. I don't really have anything else going on in the game right now because we're waiting for CVC, so we can't really do anything, right? I did my quests. Um, Typically, most people are going to want to wait to do their faction wars, to do their tag team, but I like to always get my quest done as quick as possible because I haven't missed a quest in like 3.5 years. Whenever I finally was able to complete all the daily quests, I've never missed a quest. And it just matches up perfectly so that I always get through all the quests on the same day that I like do the weekly, the monthly, like everything lines up perfectly. So I always try to get my quest done. And this time I'm not really depending personally so much on like faction war points, stuff like that, because I'm going to get so much from this mythical, so much from books, so much from the Forge, so much from the Altar of Souls. I don't really have to worry so much this time about like faction wars or tag team arena. Yeah, I think the lesson that Raid is always trying to teach us is to never spend anything, but always spend everything. Give them a bunch of money. They're always throwing things at us and then giving us regret. Like the 2X event last weekend. Pull all your void shards and get nothing for it. It's the way that usually goes for me. That's the way it went last weekend. But that's it. I think the plan for tomorrow night, assuming that I can stream, we're going to be building Embrys live on stream. If anybody wants to do like a takeover, I'll probably have time to do a takeover or something. It doesn't take that long to build up an Embrys, assuming that I get all my Minotaur runs done in time. So you can always message me at Weiler Wednesday on Discord. And if you want to do like if anybody needs help with Hydra or building a champion or setting up, an arena team or something. I'm not the number one player in Raid, but I've been playing for 4 years. I can help out a lot of people on a lot of things. Good luck on CVC. Unless you're going up against my clan, then I hope you have the worst luck of all. Not really. It's not that big of a deal. Just let us win. That's all. You can have all the luck in the world. Just let us win. We've lost 2 or 3 in a row. It's our time. Did you get anything from your voice? I wasn't going to pull. I didn't necessarily need to pull. I was either pull or do like the champion training and do like the ice golem and all that. But I was like, it's 2X void. I'll just pull. And then I didn't have to worry about doing all that other stuff. It was kind of a nice, relaxing weekend because of it. I just got the 5-star for Tholen and just kind of ran, Spider because I was so low on silver. Now I have a little bit of silver. Forge is a great way to get silver. Get all the silver tomorrow. Yeah, all I got is like +2, +3 epics that I don't use a whole lot. It was a pretty bad pull session, but that's the way it goes. All right, guys. If anybody has any questions, hit me up on Discord. I try to check several times a day. I'm not on there all day. I don't live on Discord, but I do check it. If anybody needs help with anything, on stream or off stream, I'm happy to try my best. And I'll be back tomorrow night. And we'll be building Embrys. And if you missed any of the CVC stuff, you can watch back the stream, or I've got like 10 videos on how to do personal CVC out there. So you can look it up. Good luck on CVC. We're going to try to get some rest and hit the ground running on the CVC when it starts in the morning. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Weiler Wednesday. Don't forget to like the video before you go on your way out. Help out the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to subscribe. Be back tomorrow. We can build Embrus together and have some fun on CVC. See you later.